Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel for another video here in The Sims 2 with me, Addict. Today we are renovating a lot in Bluewater Village called Amelia's Closet. It is another clothing store. I'm sorry to do another clothing store right after doing the other one, but I downloaded some new CC and I was eager to try it. But yeah, so Amelia's Closet is another one of the most spectacular roofs in Bluewater Village. And so the first thing I do is come in and attack said roof and try to make it look less of an eyesore. Mostly just by simplifying the shape, less roof pieces, you know, help, and also of course by lowering the pitch of the roof. Lowering the pitch of the roof always tends to make a roof look better in The Sims 2. I have a whole like roofing tutorial video on my channel here if you're interested to check it out with some roofing tips, because I definitely used a lot of those tips in today's video. So this lot is a little bit just difficult in general because A, it's just huge. Like for a clothing store, this is a massive lot. And B, like the outside area is huge. That little jump cut there, I actually moved a lot because I realized it was really designed to be a corner lot. Now, I'm not sure if it was originally a corner lot and then I moved it at one point, or if it was never a corner lot, but it was designed to be a corner lot. I don't really know. Either way, I put it back in a street corner so that the pavement kind of made a little bit more sense with wrapping around the building the way it did. But I was tempted, I'm not going to lie, to just completely shrink the size of this lot using the lot adjuster tool. I did not end up doing that, but I kind of regret it. There's this huge outdoor area that you can see there sort of in that fenced bit, which honestly just serves no purpose and I don't really know why it's there. The pavement area on this lot is also just massive. Like there's a lot of paving. Like it just seems to be bigger than it needs to be, this dear clothing store here. But you know, I ended up sticking with it. I tried to stay as close to you know, I wanted to stay close to the original Max's sizing. I don't really know why, but I did. These flower beds I move a total of about 4 times, I think, because I moved them once and then I realized they weren't in line and then I realized they were too far apart, so I moved them again and again and again and again. And it's actually quite a pain to move these flower beds because there's a lot of diagonal flower pieces, but I did it and it looks better. But yeah, this big outdoor area, like, in the original lot, it's kind of like a employee hangout area, I'm guessing is what it's meant to be. Like there's a barbecue and a dartboard and some stuff. For most of this video, I leave it blank, and then right at the end, I actually come back and make it just like a stock drop-off area. And the lot is originally also very orange, so I kind of wanted to stick with that theme and keep the orange vibe, but I ended up repainting the lot with this orange stucco with, I don't know how you say this word. Is it like quioning? I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering it. But basically it's like the blocks on the corners. That's what I mean. And one of you in the comments can correct me on my pronunciation. I think is it like coining or like coining? I don't know, whatever. But so yeah, I went with this like orange tone, well, yellowy orange tone, and just recolored some of the windows. I do end up switching out some of those windows later on in the build as well. And then out the front here, I wanted to have some type of statue or fountain of some description because it's just, again, such a large area. And I ended up putting in that one there, which has a fish, which I thought was kind of cute because this is Bluewater Village, and so there's water and fish, and I don't know, it seemed to work. And then I put that poster up there, which I thought was a really nice poster, and I could pretend that it says something about it being a clothing store or something about Amelia's closet, or closet maybe. I don't know, but it seemed nice at the time. So then I am doing a little bit more work on these garden beds. I thought the garden beds were a cute idea, don't get me wrong, they're just a bit frustrating to work with. So yeah, I just put some little fencing around there, and I think a little bit later on I come back and add some more plants to the center of those little garden beds as well, just to beef them out a bit with some extra plants. And then this bit over here, I end up replacing all those flowers with hedging because I just like hedging. Hedging makes me happy. It looks neat and nice, and I don't know, do you guys out there like hedges too? I've had a hedge before, like in a house, that I had to take care of, and that wasn't super fun, but I love hedges. So it's like, I want a hedge, but I want someone to take care of the hedge for me. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. There we go. I think those are the plants I end up putting in there. Right, so then I look at the inside of the lot and I just stare at it. Obviously, this footage is sped up 5 times speed, so that pause there where I looked at the inside of this lot was just me sitting there for like a couple of minutes, just going like, what am I going to do with this lot? As I said, it's such a humongous space, first of all, like it's just massively big, and there's this upstairs area and there's this stage area, and I was just like, oh my God, and there's toilets and there's a staff room, and there's just a lot going on in this lot. And so I was doing most of this renovation actually yesterday. And yesterday I just had a messed up day yesterday. So I had to get some blood tests done first thing in the morning it's part of being pregnant. I had to do my glucose tolerance test to find out if I have gestational diabetes, which hopefully I don't, but so I missed breakfast and morning coffee. I only ate and had coffee at like 11 a.m. And it just messed me up, man. Like, it messed up my entire day. I just felt wrong for the rest of the day. Even after I'd eaten and had my coffee at like 11:30 a.m. I just felt like all wrong. And so doing this lot was actually honestly a struggle. Also, that arch there seems to have a glitch with the wall. It doesn't cut out the wall properly. I need to have a look at that. But yeah, so I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm feeling very uninspired, but I really wanted to get a build out. So I persevered and I recolored these stairs individually, one by one, as you can see me doing here, because I'm just really great like that. It's, again, the most satisfying thing ever is to watch myself do that in sped up, like sped up footage, because it's like, oh, that didn't take too long. Again, in reality, it took a good couple of minutes. So yeah, the last clothing store we did though, it was a very sort of, industrial theme. It was the brick and, that kind of modern industrial vibe. This one I wanted to be a little different. I wanted it to be bright. I wanted it to be modern, and I wanted this place to feel kind of a bit classier. So Amelia's closet is a little bit, more expensive in my mind, in my head canon. It's a little more expensive. The clothes are a little more designer. It's a little more, like you come here if you're shopping for nicer pieces than, like Brandy Broke wouldn't be able to afford to shop here, was kind of the vibe I was going for. Excuse me, sorry. I don't know how well I accomplished it at the end of the day, but that was the intention that I had. That whole area back there was originally toilets. I ended up changing into the change room area, which we'll come back to in a minute, but for now we're putting some mannequins in the windows. I have so many mannequins, and every time I do a clothing store, I'm like, I want some more mannequins. I need some more mannequins. Yes, I think I need some more mannequins. It's an issue. But yeah, so here we go, back to the changing booth area. So pretty simple, but I made sure to actually leave enough space in front of the clothing booths this time that they would actually work. And I put those little counters in there so you can sort of imagine that there's an employee who stands behind those counters and is responsible for making sure everyone's trying on their clothes correctly. Those of you who have been through changing rooms, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Like, they give you your little tag that says how many items you're taking into the clothing room and things like that. So that's what that little sort of like counter area is meant to be. Obviously in the game there's not actually going to be an employee standing there supervising people's trying on of clothes. Oh, and lighting this lot was tricky because obviously this lot is there's most of the building doesn't have a ceiling on the bottom floor. So most of the bottom floor doesn't have a ceiling immediately over it. In the original Max's lot, they just went, oh well, and they just had lights dangling from the ceiling anyway. I wanted to try to be more realistic than that. I didn't want to have lights dangling where there was no ceiling, so I went with wall lighting. In reality, it would probably be just that, you'd have the lights on the second floor and the light would travel down to the first floor, but of course in The Sims 2, it doesn't function that way. It's quite unfortunate, but yeah, I need some more like 2-story lights, because the only 2-story lights I've got, one's a chandelier and the other one's kind of just ugly, and I don't like to use it, but yeah, so I end up wall lighting most of the bottom of the lot, which I don't know if I'm super happy with it, but it's what I did. And then I end up switching out the white paint for a little bit more of a muted beige color, because why not? Similar changing rooms to what I did in the last lot, just with like the Lonely Curtain by someone or other, Curious Bee maybe, and some mirrors in there. And again, we go ahead and use a bunch of the Cassandra Clothing Boutique clothing racks in this lot. In particular, I really did want to use them in this lot because as I was saying, I wanted this lot to be a little bit more high-end, a little bit more fancy. The clothes are meant to be more expensive. We might do, the next clothing store we might do something that's a little bit like meant to be cheaper. I don't know if that makes sense, but we might use some more of like the Max's clothing racks with some more basic looking clothes on those clothing racks. Because yeah, just for something different, I think that would be a good idea. And then I also had this little bag area, so you can buy yourself a nice pretty handbag if you want to. So just putting some handbags on some OMSBs. These things are not currently set for sale. That would be something that I would do if I had a playable sim come in and run this lot. Over this corner, we put some jean displays up. And I put in a bunch of jean clothing racks as well. So there's like a whole section there that's selling pants. This part here, I originally do some dresses, but a bit later on I'll come back and I'll actually switch that out to be more of like a men's section of the store, and the women's clothes are all in a different section because I wanted this store to cater to both men and women. And yeah, I realized I didn't have enough men's clothing at one point, so I do come back to that at some stage and change that. And then over on those little bits, I put shoes, but we just jump cut because obviously I took a pause to do something or other. I don't know, maybe my husband got home from work or something. And also, speaking of Cassandra's clothing boutique, I re-downloaded the set and I discovered that she actually had all of these like wall hanging like dresses and t-shirts and things like that. So I go ahead and put some of those wall hanging clothes up. As I was talking about this in my last clothing store video, but clothing stores have clothes all over the place. You know, they always have things hanging on the walls all over the place. So I really wanted to replicate that, and I think it really adds a lot extra to the lot to have things hanging on the walls like that. So I went ahead and did that more in this lot, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really nice. But yeah, over here, sorry, we've come back to this area now to put in some more shoes. By like in editing this video, I've realized just like how much I jump around when I'm renovating and when I'm building. I'll work on one area, then I'll get distracted and do something else in another area, then I'll get distracted and do something else, then I'll come back to the area I was working on before. So here I've gotten distracted again. I'm just putting out some earrings and some gloves on the counter. And then I'm like, oh, I should put some things on the walls back here. And then eventually we'll probably go back to the shoe area that I was working on before and finish doing the shoe area. You know, I bounce around all over the place. It's terrible. It's really not very organized or concise or something like that. Let me know in the comments, how do you guys build and renovate? Do you do better than me? Are you completely focused on one area and you get it done and then you move on? Or are you like me where you kind of just jump around everywhere? So this upstairs area, I was tempted to get rid of it entirely. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, I don't know what to do with this area. I put in some couches as a bit of a throwback to the original Amelia's closet, which had those couches in like a downstairs seating area. And then I put in these coat racks, as you can see here. I put in just more clothes. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'm just putting more clothes in up here. Yeah, as I said, this lot is just so big. It's so much bigger than it actually needs to be, and I was like, do we really need this upstairs area? I don't think so. But at the end, by the end of the build, I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out, because it's a little bit like a dress section and a little bit like a section yeah, with more of the women's clothing. And in my head, I was kind of imagining that this is like formal wear upstairs here. Another thing I could do, and I'm still thinking about it, is there's more CC out there for like underwear mannequins. So I could have also made this like an underwear section of the store, which probably would have worked as well. But yeah, I put some shirts in these wardrobe pieces, and I put some shoes in, and I don't know, this area here with these decorative wardrobes, which sadly do not have any slots. If anyone would like to add some slots to these, I would be forever in your debt, because I had to put everything on OMSBs, which is a pain. But yeah, this area, it kind of looks like somebody's closet rather than an actual clothing store, but I thought that was kind of a cute idea. Like maybe that's what the store was going for. Like, hey, this is what your closet could look like if you buy all of these things from our shop. So yeah, I don't know, I just decorated it with some shoes and boots and clothes and things like that. And then I also recently grabbed a set which had this really cool shoebox, and I need to make some recolors of this shoebox because it's really nice. It's got Simlish text on it, which makes me very happy. I think it's a Sims 4 to 2 conversion. But yeah, Simlish text on it, which makes me very happy. And you can see I just chucked a ton of them on OMSPs and put them on the shelf there, and I was quite happy with how that turned out. At this point I'm like, oh, we need something extra on the wall behind the counter space, so I go ahead and put in some wallpaper. Then I get distracted putting in pot plants. Then eventually I circle back to that wallpaper section and decide I don't like that wallpaper and put something else in there. Like I say, I jump around a lot when I build and renovate and decorate. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it just seems to be what I do. And I really wasn't sure what to do with the wall space behind the counter. I ended up just putting that mirror and that like little wall art bit, because I was like, I don't know what else to do with this. I feel like in a real store it would have more merchandise on display. It would have hats and scarves and things like that on a wall display of some description, but I don't have any objects that would simulate that. And there, yeah, so I've recolored it with this nice wood paneling, which I actually really love. It's from Fano's Playground set, but I really love the texture of that wood panel, and I thought it just added a little something to the lot, gave an extra soft wood tone, because there's quite a lot of soft muted wood tones in this lot, so I thought that looked really, really nice. And then that's pretty much where I leave it for yesterday, and then I came back to it today and I decided to do something else with this back area, which was just useless. I downloaded the moving decoration set with this truck, which is really cool, and some moving boxes, moving day. It's available on Mod The Sims. So yeah, I got this truck and these like moving boxes, and my idea was it's like a stock area. It's like, so when the shop gets a delivery of merchandise or stock, the truck pulls in there and then they unload and put them on these like shelves in this storage room / staff room. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just decorating with some cardboard boxes that are meant to be like, yeah, stock that has been delivered that's waiting to be unpacked, or spare shoes or whatever it may be. And that door that I put in there originally was actually the hotel door, and I was like, that's probably not going to work properly, but I really liked how it had like the swipe card access. Yeah, so I had to get rid of it, but that's okay. And then I do decide to go ahead and redecorate this area as a staff room, as it originally was. I was tempted to just leave it blank, but yeah, no, I ended up putting back in the staff room kind of bits and pieces. So we just have a tiny little kitchen with a coffee machine, a microwave, and a mini fridge. That's pretty standard for when I make a staff room for a retail lot in The Sims 2. And then I also put in some shelves, and we put in some plates and cups and mugs and bowls, just things like that that make it look like the staff could actually come in and take a proper break in this room. And if we do one day have a sim who runs this lot, I'm sure they will really appreciate this staff room back here, but until then it's just here to look cool, I guess. So yeah, the shelves, as I said, they're pretty basic, just some basic like crockery, and I think I put some little some soap there for the washing up the dishes. I think I put some little food pieces, some tea. I feel like I should start just sneaking that tea rack into every build that I do, just because it's me. And yeah, just some little like Tupperware containers. I don't know, just little bits and pieces to try to make it look like it's actually used as a staff room, and people make use of that room. So then the last thing I put in is a little table and chairs, so that again the staff could actually sit down and take a break. And then that's pretty much all for this renovation. So let's jump into a little bit of live footage of how the lot runs. Alrighty everybody, so we are here now live with this guy, Jason Larson. So Jason had a want to buy new clothes, and I thought it would be fun to let him come to the newly renovated and improved Amelia's closet to do our playtesting session, and he can actually buy himself some new clothes. So Jason Larson is Jody Larson's brother, and they have just moved downtown. Here he is. And yeah, he's in desperate need of some new clothes, something a little less baggy, something a little less like he's a 40-year-old, you know, just something nice and new and modern. So in between clips, I have just done a couple of little changes to the inside of this lot. Now, first of all, I need to lock this door. Yeah, if this was a playable lot, I would obviously have that locked so people can't actually get in there. But I changed this area into more of like men's clothing, and I moved the setup with the dresses and everything sort of up to this upper floor, just to make this area a little bit more packed in, a little bit more lively. And I wanted a more substantial men's section to Amelia's closet. So yeah, the men's section over here has been expanded a little bit. So yeah, we've got like jeans over here that he can buy. We've got shirts. We've got over here, we've got like a really nice area for women's clothing, shoes. You probably also didn't see I just added some little sale signs in, just trying to make this lot feel more alive, I guess. But yeah, let's have him come in here. Now, one thing I wanted to check was in the staff room, the chairs do tuck in, so that's good. I could probably actually just move these guys out of here. Yeah, here he is. He's going to do some buying of some everyday wear. Willow Townsend could also use a new outfit by the look of her. We've got our NPCs that have spawned successfully, so that's good news. And then I'm assuming that this will work perfectly fine. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, Jason Larson is a cop. He wants to be a cop, so I'm gonna get him some cop clothes. Something like that maybe. I think he would be someone who likes to dress nice. He likes to look like he's got money. So let's just buy him a couple of pieces. And it looks like he's going to successfully check out. We will, of course, also check the changing booths again. I noticed that Gladys just walked straight through that cabinet, but I'm sure that's fine. So yeah, let's come in here. So let's just double check that he can plan his everyday and change into a couple of different outfits using these. I made sure to leave the 2 tiles of space. Yeah, 2 tiles of space in front of the changing booths. So if I go change into like gym clothes, for example, he should be able to successfully, if Gladys gets out the way, yeah, he should be able to successfully go in there, get changed, and come back out again, and get changed back into his everyday wear. So something else I did just quickly off camera is I added this very dodgy looking makeshift boom gate, because I wanted it to look like, yeah, you have to have access to get back into that back area that you saw me decorate with the boxes and the truck and stuff. This would probably really be a keep clear so that trucks could come in and out as needed, but this is really the only convenient spot for a playable sim to park a car, so that's why I've left the driveway there, and we're just going to deal with it. Unless I blocked off this entrance, but I don't really want to do that. So, I mean, it looks to me like this lot is working pretty well. It's another really nice opportunity for maybe Ms. Dina Goth to purchase another clothing empire. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I might just come in and add in some more decoration of like more hanging clothes just up here, like how I had the dresses. And then something else I've just thought of is that we don't have a toilet for the staff. We could probably just add a little toilet out back, to be honest. Like, we've got all this space out the back here that I just didn't know what to do with. So we could probably do that, and that would be fine. If we do eventually have this as a player-owned lot, that'll be very helpful. Looks like people are happily browsing over here, looking at all the clothes, so that's really good. It seems like these Cassandra community clothing racks don't have the try-on option, so I'm wondering if there's a fixed version of them out there on the internet somewhere that has the option to try on. If any of you guys know of anything like that, please leave me a comment and let me know. But otherwise, I think I'm gonna call this lot good. I think this has been a successful renovation, one eternity later, because yeah, I have been working on this for a very long time. So Jason now has a sweet new outfit. And it's, yeah, it looks a little bit more high-end, so that's nice, because I wanted this store to be more designer-y. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it there for the playtesting, and we'll just jump into some screenshots and slow-mo footage of the lot.